Good morning, this is Robin Bieber on the Crude Spread Talk on the 30th of June at 7:45 in the morning London time. As an overview, the crude structure looks steady at the front but expect an early dip. The back looks very steady but watch the moving averages very carefully. On WTI, the front is steady to strong. Again, expecting an early dip there, and at the back, watch the short-term moving averages. They're absolutely critical to the back end generally. And the chart we're looking at the moment is SpreadTalk Brent, and it's holding its 13-day at -12. And whilst it's above the 21-day, which is held on the last two big dips, at -17, there is no downside. Upside would only be green lighted by moving over -8, whereupon we'd probably go into backwardation at +2. The negative stochastic with bearish divergence isn't great, but at the moment, let the 21-day at -17 and the 8-day at -8 determine the next leg. We're a little bit stuck at the moment. The 60-minute chart here is suggesting that we may well dip a little bit early on, but nothing too dramatic. Now, the OCNOV is in exactly the same boat. 8-day moving average at -15 over there, and we probably run up to -9, -5. 13 and 21-day moving average between -20 and -23. No downside whilst the 21-day holds at -23, and note how well it's held on the last two dips. The negative stochastic is not great, and the hourly chart is suggesting a dip lower early this morning, but nothing too serious anticipated. Now, moving on to the middle structure, DEC June, totally in the hands of the moving averages. No downside whilst it holds the 21-day at -147. No upside whilst it's below the 8-day at -120. And it's likely, like it has for the last 3 days, to move backwards and forwards between the 8-day and the 21-day. The hourly chart over on the left here is suggesting a little bit of a move higher this morning, but nothing too dramatic expected. DEC Red DEC stuck between the 21-day very good support at -256 and the 8-day resistance at -214. Like the DEC June, it's likely to move between these two, 214, 256, before we get a breakout. The 60-minute chart is suggesting a push a little bit higher early this morning. Watch the 21-day and the 8-day for guidance today. Now, moving on to WTI, and specifically moving on to AUGSEP. It looks quite good. It's above the 8-day at -14, and it looks like it could easily retest this high here at -7 area, and that's probably where we're going to go. There's no target higher unless we're above the -7 level, whereupon we could easily move into backwardation and up to +19. There is no downside whilst the 21-day holds at -20. And the stochastic has just moved positive. On the hourly chart for this spread, the SEPOC, it's looking a bit toppy between 10 and 11, and as if we need to dip a little bit. Nothing too dramatic, but dip a little bit this morning. And the SEPOC is above the 8-day at -13. Looks like it could test the -9 level and maybe even higher. Must hold above -13 to have a little bit of upside, and no downside whilst it's above -16 the 21-day. A move below -16 would put it on the back foot. The stochastic has just moved positive. And the hourly chart is suggesting on the SEPOC, suggesting some downside for the early part of today. Again, nothing too dramatic, but it could shed a few cents. And moving on to the back end for WTI, this is the DEC June, and it has no upside whilst it's below the 8-day at -63, and no downside whilst it's above the 21-day at -85. It's ebbing and flowing between these two moving averages. Use them as guides. The negative stochastic isn't great, but it doesn't seem to be impacting too much. And if anything, this spread is looking like it might push up and test the 8-day at -63 during the course of the morning. The DEC Red DEC's no different. No downside whilst it holds the 21-day at -161, and then it's got a good strong CP at -176. No upside whilst it's below the 8-day at -119. It's ebbing and flowing like the rest between the 8 and 21-day, the 8-day resistance and the 21-day support. The rest are doing the same. This is no different, and just use those as guides for the moment. That's all for today, folks. Good luck, good trading, and bon appetit.